All right, there we go. What I'm thankful for, my first 2 years in Thailand. In December of 2021, after dabbling in the furry community for several years in different fashions, I officially entered the fandom with Barnaby. Barnaby, in all his plaid gilded attire, was unveiled in his white fluffy goodness. While still living in Chayapum in Thailand, which for reference is like 5 hours from Bangkok, um, I soon came to find and meet many wonderful and incredible folks along my journey. That, uh, in what this long-winded letter will hope to conclude, will be my goal. Uh, so, uh, not a self-serving appointment, but rather a permanent stain on my memories to remind myself and all of the folks that have touched me in some way. Whether our moments were long or short, whether we were the best of friends or the bitterest of rivals, I wanted to write it down because I have a really hard time with writing stuff down. Um, and also because for a really long time, the diaries and stuff that I used to write were all really negative, and that's not really great because you tend to just remember all the bad things, and so I wanted something other than that. I wanted to remember something other than just the bad things. And I think it's helpful to write things down to put stuff in perspective. Anyway, from 2021 to 2022. When I first moved to Bangkok in early 2022, I had a lot of bad memories of mistreatment and kind of spitefulness. I had a lot of bad relationships and friendships, which kind of led me to feeling trapped. I tend to be the one who always made plans and who always kind of worked on everything in the background. And around that time, I was really starting to notice that when I wasn't making plans, nothing happened. I wasn't getting invited to things. I was the planner and the organizer and basically everything else. So after leaving the US in early 2021, 9,000 miles away to Thailand, you know, it kind of got to me. I longed for friends and a feeling of belonging. I felt lost, struggling to belong to any one of the groups I participated in. I was never really published enough to be a published author. I was never really gay enough to be gay. When I was gay, I was never really enough of me for anyone. Um, so it was only after getting out of my shell and forcing myself out into the world, which I'm sorry, planet Earth. I deeply apologize for doing so. I know it must be horrendous. Um, I quickly made friends with several members of the furry community, including Siggy, Mephi, and of course, Leonis. Um, which though none of you know them, but there are a bunch of Thai beans. Um, so while not all of our conversations were long or depthful, each one showed me a little bit of themselves that I cherish and hold dear to. They showed me a more down to earth side of the city of Bangkok that I won't forget. Of course, more soon came that I would happily share some dinners, conversations, and even fursuit meets with. I met Hankuma, Kulmasuke, both, which is Felix Fox, and Camillo, which showed me the fun, interesting, and intriguing lives that they led, while still dressing themselves up and enjoying life to its fullest. The down-to-earth nature of Hankuma made life seem fun, while the fun, foodie vibes of Kulma reminded me to maybe take things a bit more slowly and to try and enjoy the more nightly vibes of the city. And Camillo, meanwhile, was a fun vibe to delve into his enjoyments and see him post about his love of board games. We're not even through the first page. While many impacted me... By the way, if anyone's curious, Kulma is the only other polar bear fursuiter here in Thailand. So if you saw those photos of me and Kulma, or me and another polar bear, that was Kulma. And Hankuma is the bear fursuiter and also a green bird sometimes, I guess. But there's also another green bird in Thailand. So now there's 2 green birds. Anyway. While many impacted my early months here, both Chestnut Felix Fox perhaps impacted them the most. While he may not have always understood every word I meant, he has been and continues to be a truly heartwarming individual who, while quite lewd, is possibly one of the kinder individuals in the Thai furry community and someone who I greatly appreciate. He's been nothing less than welcoming in most every way, and I'd be remiss if I failed to mention him. And also, I guess something vibrated on my desk, but I don't know what that is. That's interesting. There's nothing on my desk. Maybe I vibrated. Anyway. I also met both Step Noob and Mocha around this time. Mocha showed me what consideration could mean. During our first lunch together, he helped reply in English to a conversation happening in Thai, allowing me to participate in a conversation I otherwise would have struggled with. While quite busy and a bit shy, both Thailand and the furry fandom would be lesser without his wonderful presence. And he's also the head of Furget and Fur Square, which is one of the other Thai cons here. Step Noob was also an incredible and wonderful person to meet and hang out with, exceedingly chill and very bubbly. Leaning on his shoulder while I was scared made me feel welcomed and included in ways I couldn't otherwise describe. He also helped me organize a few fur bowls together, where I met even more wonderful beans. So he and I organized a bunch of fursuit bowlings. Hello, Zandike. Towards the second half of 2022... Oh, yeah. Give me 1 second, chat. Minutes should be enough. Anyway, towards the second half of 2022, after striking up several conversations regarding plants and foliage, I don't even remember. I don't remember how to pronounce this flower. I don't think I've actually had to say it out loud. It's hydrangea? Hydrangea? I don't remember how to pronounce it. But it's a flower that can be like both pink and blue. Hold on, let me put a link to it real quick. Let me put a link to a photo. If anyone's curious, it looks like that. They're very pretty. Anyway, I met Scooter. Scooter was a lovely and more than accommodating host while I visited him in Phuket. Whether it was going out to eat, playing VR together, or taking photos with me and showing me the sights around the area, I'll never forget our fond memories we had together. Wait. Around this time, I fully embraced myself in the furry fandom, pushing myself more into streaming on Twitch, and by April 2022, even reaching affiliate. I had a few consistent viewers, including Sidecone, Master Maestro, along with several other very sweet beans, whose attention and thoughts I value. Like Talon, formerly Ink Clown. Of course, none of it would have happened. By the way, for those who don't know, Ink Clown was also one of the first people who brought Barnaplush to life. If anyone's curious. I doubt they'll end up showing up. Of course, none of it could have happened without Georgia Dion, who made my model when I was a guy. So for those who don't remember, before all the edits, I used to be a guy. Along with a lot of my first stickers and art pieces. So if y'all saw a lot of my old original memes, let me see if I can actually get into the account real quick. And if it wasn't obvious, chat, I'm going to be ignoring all of you until I'm done reading, because I will lose focus very quickly otherwise. So let me see if I can find it real quick. Boop. Boop. Let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, here's one example. There you go. So that's one of the examples that they did. Anyway, Of course, none of it could have happened. Sorry. I've since made what many of, at least what I would consider be, good friends, thanks to both pushing myself out of my comfort zone and the kindness and generosity of those within the fandom who helped to show me and make me feel appreciated. Whether it was Ferret Magic, who introduced me to the real internet animals, Afterthought, who encouraged me prior to and after I joined the now defunct Twitch team for a United Network, or Drip the Deer, who managed to control RIA after the former head, Mr. Bear, stepped down. There's been nothing but kindness and appreciative efforts on all parts that I cannot have enough consideration for. From the RIA group, particular members of notes in my journey, whether those that kept me going, joined in on my shenanigans, or inspired me in some way, include Ferret Magic, Drip the Deer, King Panda 95, Greenland, Bug OS, Brinth, Dark Scintilla, Drake Blaze, Fenme, Premium Daddy, Ray the Yeen, Sierra, who I think was my first ever commission, at least in that group, Snow, who helped do the original female updates that you see here, if I remember which one's the hand. There we go. So these were all the... This was the female update. And then Sunny Eggs D made my ponytail. Anyway. Snow, who updated my model when I first came out as trans. Zerink, Instant Z-Bear, Cheesecake Dragon, the Taco Fox, Woofles, who I think was my second ever com. And Bug OS. Whether they were an active part for all or part of my journey thus far, I appreciate every one of them, and more. And they all deserve appreciation. Okay. Don't worry, chat. We're only on page 3 of 6. There's so many names. From the now defunct Fun Twitch team, along with After Server, I met Afterthought, Lioness Camp, Bree, the first person I connected with and was calmed by here. Also, they made some of my backgrounds. Not this one, but if you guys saw earlier the kitchen background in the intro, that was made by them, for those who don't know. T-Pain, Stephen Fox 26, Cactus Mutt, who was another one of my first commissions. I think they were my first commission ever, but I don't recall. And they're an incredibly sweet bean, only mildly smells of university. Ugh. Ketchi-san, Wukosh, Harahu, and many other sweet and lovely beans. These folks were all exceedingly sweet and welcoming individuals. A particular thank you goes out to this group, as I'm in a very weird time zone and kind of alone in Thailand, so I could often reach out to these folks and just have someone to listen to. And sometimes when I was really alone or isolated, not speaking to others for days on end in real life.
Phoebe. Hope you're well. Varna Plush here, and chat wishes you to do some self-care. Don't forget a big sippy and a nice, long stretch.
As I was saying, Cappy, I could often reach out to these folks and have someone to listen to. And sometimes when I was feeling really alone and isolated, that kind of stuff was really helpful. This group was always a wonderfully embracing breath of fresh air, and the early columns by Cactus and Bree also helped me hone my artistic skills better, and genuinely helped me feel like I really could do more and learn more from art. Not from the money or anything, but the desire for something I made, for anything, helped me to recognize the value in what I was doing. But also how far I'd come. I tend to lose focus of that, as I'm often so isolated that any improvement would be written off immediately. I lived in the future for a very long time, which is to say I didn't really live in the here and now kind of thing. And my thoughts were always kind of on towards like a better tomorrow, basically forever, for probably since I was like 6 or 7 years old. Because in a way it was always that way. I lived in situations and in places and with people where the only hope I had or could have was for a tomorrow that wasn't like today. So it made it difficult to accept or even celebrate my own achievements because I had to have them. Because if I didn't have them, then there couldn't be a better tomorrow. So to celebrate them felt fake, I guess, in a way. They felt like it was celebrating something that was supposed to happen. Even when winning awards, they seemed so obvious I was disgusted by them because I didn't feel like I deserved them, as I felt it was the bare minimum I expected of myself. To never stop improving, even in minor ways, because I had to. Because if I couldn't, then I couldn't get out. I couldn't have a better tomorrow. And so, that kind of stuff really helped. It took a while to understand that, the value in celebrating those improvements, and this group helped me to see that. We're not even on page 4. Of course, no letter would be complete without mentioning my first real boyfriend here in Thailand. In mid to late 2022, I met my first boyfriend, Phone, an absolute sweetheart of a goofy bean, who I dated through mid-April 2023. They're lovely artists who seem to connect well with my friends, and they had a fun vibe and were just a general and overall sweet bean. They helped me to translate stuff, and it was really comforting having an ear and friend to listen to and talk with. And while we've now gone our separate ways, having him along was quite the memorable experience that I won't soon forget. Okay. Shortly after, in mid-late 2022, Barnaplush came onto the scene. That's Barnaplush over there. Chat, that's Barnaplush. Oh, I can't redeem it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's Barnaplush. Made by the darling Devil Cat Jane, and the first rendition of him was by Inclown. And Devil Cat Jane made the physical one, for those who don't know. Barnaplush is not only a digital little fella on my screen, but a real felt doll measuring around 12 inches tall in height and sits on my desk. They did a lovely job bringing my little guy to life, and I can't thank them enough. Then came the reveal. My first ever fursuit was made by Zixki Fursuits, which helped bring full-size Barnaby, now Bailey, to life. They did a wonderful job with the materials given, and I love my suit dearly for what it is. There are some issues with it and whatnot, I won't lie. But considering some people have had problems getting their commissions by them and at all, I was happy with that I got mine. Around this time, I also made more friends with more folks such as Napat and Dax, who are super sweet little beans. Dax in particular is a lovely bean who's made several items for me, including a keychain and a con badge. Napat also helped me along my silly furry journey, either by doing art or by just being a fun little bean to be around. And if you are curious, my... And if you're curious, the panel art that are in the panels is made by them. For anyone who's curious. So all those panel arts that you see, those are all by them. Anyway. In early 2023, it finally happened, and I went to my first ever FurryCon, Thai Tales 2023. Not only did I go to my first ever FurCon, but I met a bunch of sweet folks. Would be very awkward if I made them. Got some cool stuff at the dealer's den, played some cool games with other furs, and I sang in public for the first time. I don't remember if I still have that, but let me go grab it up. Your YouTube Studio? Is it in YouTube Studio that I can find it? Content? Sure. It's technically enlisted. If anyone wants to hear Super Shaky Bailey Bear sing for the first time live, that was terrifying. And yeah, so I sang at my first ever con in public. It was very scary, but I did my bestest, and I managed to push through my stage fright to deliver an okay, if very shaky performance of "It's Over, Isn't It" from Steven Universe. And my boyfriend helped me as my former boyfriend helped me as a handler, along with Mon Mon. For those who don't know them, they're a lovely little blue Durg, who also helped for a little bit. Soon after, I had several more pleasant experiences, including switching jobs twice. The first time I switched wasn't nearly as pleasant, but that's okay. Finding a new condo, and even singing at another con, Ferget, which was, if a bit shaky, still a lovely experience and a good time to adventure in, with the help of Raksha and Devil Wolf. Happy birthday, Devil Wolf, by the way. Chat, it's Devil Wolf's birthday when you're here seeing this, probably. So please give them a follow. They're a lovely bean. I think you can... Yeah, here they go. Do they actually post actively on this one? I don't remember if they do. They're a little bit more active on Twitter, but please go follow them. They're another streamer, and exclamation shout out at Devil Wolf. Please say that's it. Please say that's it. No, that's not it. Okay. Curses. Wait, that is it. I lied. / shout out at... It should be working. There we go. Please give them a follow. They're a very good bean. And we're also doing a song collab together. And yeah, it was their birthday. It's their birthday today. So please give them a follow. Tell them happy birthday. They're a very good bean. They were supposed to stream today, but they're not feeling well. So I'm sure they'd appreciate the happy birthdays. Anyway. I'm gonna skip the song. There we go. And yeah, and Devil Wolf was my handler at Ferget, and they were a very good bean, and I appreciate them a lot. And I even won a little giveaway at the con, which was great. Even though it wasn't something I really wanted, I hadn't won a giveaway since I was 13, so winning anything was pretty cool, honestly. Along this time, I was also growing my streaming. I grew emotionally, arguably. And I strengthened myself socially, expanded my content, dabbled into new fields, including art, I guess. Because I wasn't doing art when I started streaming, for those who don't know. I only started at, what was it, October of last year? Or August of last year? And did my best to perform even better, learning more about my boundaries, my comforts, and my dislikes along the way, too, which I think is super important. Wang. In regards to that, whoop. In regards, there we go. In regards to that, my brain died. I can't. Anyway, in regards to that, in regards to the Twitch streaming, a special shout out to my lovely mods. Maestro, who I know isn't here, but I hope they're doing okay. Teef the Sweetie, former mod. Legs Lovely, Mara the Void Dragon, Tremor Ferrum, Vanity, Cappy, Dark Dragon, Concuss Smoothie, Hollow, Rondon, Gran, Sour Dusk, Xania, and Penrose. They may not always be around, but each one helps out whether directly or indirectly, offering kindness, moderation support, and just general lovely companionship to be around. I also have some lovely fans. You might have even met some of them. Or maybe you're one of them. Wow. Would you imagine? I've had some lovely and generous fans over the last few years, so let's list all the ones who've drawn some lovely fan art, shall we? I'm going to pronounce some of these names wrong, but let's prepare. Clockwork Tavern, formerly Ink Clown, Gren, Pete Cartoonist, Dax, Ketchy-san, Phone, Cora T. Floof, Shushi Dog, Wabazia, Caster, High Fox 2021, Kitty Cat Laz, Zering, Reginald Whiskersworth, Drop. I wrote Kitty Cat Laz twice. Oopsie. You didn't see that. Ray the Yeen, Dazagon, Red Moon Fox, Scooter, Drip the Deer, Connor Pats, Noshi, Junias Trey, Georgia Dion, Soma Stuff, Toaster Mitts, Legs Lovely, Napat. I accidentally corrected it to Google Docs corrected his name to Nepal. I should just leave that in. Napat, Tubby, Ace to Furtuber, Pokebutt, Velf, Fwenchfly, Dark Dragon 277, Skitty Roo, Farrah Fluffycorn, Cheesecake Dragon, Momji, Zerman. Whoop, I accidentally zoomed this out a bunch. Don't know how that happened. There we go. Golden Toast. 145, Jay Shadow Knight, Fenme Diary, Bree, Patchwork, Sky Deer, Aurora Anon, Mittens Dark, a normal username, Uncle Murphy, Penrose, Dr. Pirate, Blue Zero Wei Yang, Bonzo Bonanza, Max Muffin, Jet D Wolf, King Cole Art, Hi Again Cole, Scribble Rock, Sketchy Frogs, and Serby the Kobold. Thank you to all of you. I probably should have said that in the beginning, but I suppose the card page with the credits does that quite well. And if anyone is curious, by the way, we do have a card page. If you would ever like to check it out, I am going to be updating it with the latest fan art. I haven't updated it with the new fan art in a few months actually. But I'm going to be updating it later this week, so do please keep an eye on it. I'm also going to be updating the background, I think. But yeah, and the fan art tab, if anyone's curious, and if you ever like, hey, where did I get commissioned? Well, there you go. If you're ever like, hey, Bailey, I saw you commission a thing. Who's that artist? Well, there you go. And if you ever wanted to know a piece of fan art that got commissioned, well, it's also, or a piece of fan art that got made for me, well, it's in there too, along with the artist name and all of that. It's very convenient and easy for you to see. Specifically for that purpose. I also uploaded some old fursuit photos, though I have to fix them. Anyway, I've also had, for one reason or another, folks gift me things on Throne. So why not run through those kind of folks real quick? With a truck! What? No! Mass murder is an optional accessory in this economy. And I've got the upgrade packet. I'm kidding. Anyway, so a big thank you to Legs Lovely, Coffee Mancer, my sister. Hi, Becky. Legs, Magical Magic Mushroom, Blue Foxy Nicey Icy, definitely a Fox, Woofles, Nitrous, Mr. Squabbit, Master Maestro, Bree, Cactus, Ayla Moist, Concuss Movie, and Sierra. Welcome back. Thank you for the gifts. I also forgot to alt-tab on this one. And finally, before we get into more general list of thank yous and courtesies, a final thank you is needed. To my boyfriend. Whee! Whee! Where's the boyfriend art? I just had it up here. I just had it. Hold on. Let me show it real quick. Wow, look at the puppy. Look at the little puppy. Look at the puppy. I forgot to put the collar on them. Oopsie. Anyway, that's the puppy. For those who don't know. Wah. I still have to finish this art. I had someone help me redline the floof. And I have to do the hands, and then add the collar, and then fix the sleeve lines. And then it'll be good. Anyway, back to just chatting. Okay. Let me bring up the scene. But yeah, so before I get into the more general list of thank yous and courtesies, a final thank you to my boyfriend, Puppy, his real name is Brian. But his persona's Puppy, and that's what matters, because I named their persona, because I made their persona. When I collared them, I mean, what? What? You heard nothing. You heard nothing. You heard absolutely nothing. You heard positively nothing. This collar right here is actually just for show. 100% very there's nothing going on with that collar. There's no reason to think it's sussy in any way. It's just a collar. But yeah, so there you go. So he's a very sweet puppy, and I love him very much, and he's adorable, and I blush when I hear him talk, and he says cute things, and I love you very much, puppy. I love you. Anyway. Wait. Of course, I also met even more absolute sweethearts who deserve at least a passing mention. So let's go through them, shall we? Whether they were simply other streamers I met, cool beans I think are worth mentioning, or folks I now consider friends. Each one helped impact me both on and off streaming and deserve your attention. And finally, without further ado, let's try to shout out every one of my friends that have been around the last few years, eh? Sorry if I miss anyone. Alright. I'm gonna mess up some of these names. Aftersought, Isu Drakov, Blue Fox J, Blue Fox Nicey Icy, Bonzo, Breenland, Bree, Blue Fox, Caster, Camillo, Cheesecake Dragon, Clarion Durian, Danman152, Dark Dragon 277, Dark Scintilla, Dax Devilwolf, Dice Wolf, Dr. Pirate, Dragon, Drip the Deer, Ebony Fullbuster, Fancore, Felix Fox, which was both, Fenme, Ferret Magic, Fez, Flowdy, Gogeta-san, Godroxen, also known as Tira. I forgot to put in their new name. I'm dumb. I was taking the names off of Discord. There we go. It's Tyra, sorry. Golden Toast 145, Guenium, Heavy Wolfie. I put Heavy Wolfie twice, don't mind that, but heck it, Heavy Wolfie a third time. Hollow, Hunkuma, Instance Ebear, Inner Links, Jet D Wolf, Joji, Junias, Carnegie 5, Catchy-san, King Cole's Art, Kulma, Legs Lovely, Lemon Poppy Seed Games, Leo, Leonis, Lioness Cam, Lone Lupus Arts, Luca, Macho Cat Randy, also known as Candy, because I keep calling them Candy, because they're edible. I mean, what? What? You heard nothing. Mara the Void Dragon, Mephi, Midori, Mocha, Molinjar, Momji, Monrar, Mr. Squabbit, Nascat, Necopanda98, Nico the Curious, Penrose Vanity, Phone, Pingmon, Premium Daddy, Prince Hollandaise, Raksha, Rundon, Runic X, Ryuda, Saris, Scooter, Siggy, Skitty Roo, Skydare, Slokio, Snow, Sourdusk, Space Himbo. I feel like I'm reading the Pokemon rap. Snow, Sourdusk, Space Himbo, Stella Poodle, Step Noob, Steve Pastel, Sunny XD, Teeth the Sweetie, the Tonka Fox, Totally Not a Bee, Nope, Totally Not, Tremor Ferrum, True Creature, T Swissy, Vesper the Fun, Vicky/Marble, Volp, Theo, Where Acre, Where Barista, Wizard Wing, Wolfie British Guy, Zalia Art, Ziznam, Uni Crestlug, Zinnia Doodles, and Zoran Fox. Did I miss anyone? I'm sure I'm gonna miss someone, and someone's going to be like,
Anyway. Finally. And without further ado, thank you to all of you. I couldn't be where I am without you, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Whether we stayed friends or not, whether you've been here for years or just showed up recently. I started streaming to make friends, and I think I can confidently say that I've finally done just that. Thank you. Mwah. Mwah. There we go. Whoop. So the rules for being mentioned for the specifically was we had to have actually talked in messages in some variety. That was the rule. That was the general rule of thumb. And so everyone else got the general end message. There we go.